Hello everyone, movie number 7 here on October 7th. I watched Curse of Chucky. Written and directed by Don Mancini. And Don Mancini has written every Chucky movie, but he's only directed, I believe, Seed of Chucky and now Curse of Chucky. Anyway, the cast. We have, let's get to the important people here. Fiona Dourif, Danielle Basutti, however you say that, A. Martinez, Maitland McConnell, Brennan Elliott, and Summer H. Howell. And of course, Brad Dourif. Those are the important folks. And Fiona Dourif, who plays Nika, the main character, is the daughter of Brad Dourif, who plays Charles Lee Ray / Chucky. So, alright, Curse of Chucky. What you've got here is we have Nika, a young woman in a wheelchair, and her mother living in this big fancy house, and a mysterious package is delivered to Mom. She opens it up, and it's a good guy doll. And that night, Mom ends up dead. So Nika's sister and brother-in-law and niece all show up, and they bring a priest with them to help Nika through. And their nanny is with them as well. And all sorts of Chucky shenanigans and goings-on happen. And that's basically it. I mean, it's a Child's Play / Chucky movie. Now, for the type of movie this is, it was pretty good. The original Child's Play is kind of a classic, I suppose. Once you sit down and accept that you're watching a movie about a killer doll, you just have to go with it, and I think the original Child's Play works. 2 and 3, if I recall correctly, are pretty bad. And then Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, you get into the comedy horror. They're very Seed of Chucky especially is very meta. And one of the things I like about this Curse of Chucky is that it returns to straight horror. This is just a straight-up horror movie in the vein of the original Child's Play. And it takes place after all the other movies. It's not a reboot or anything. And it ties in very well with the rest of the movies. There's a lot of references, to the older films, including some surprises that I won't give away, of course. It's... the acting is fine. Everybody did a good job. It's always... I'm a Brad Dourif fan, not just as Chucky, but in other roles that he's played. He's a fun actor. But it's always nice to have him return to the doll. And we do get some background on Charles Lee Ray. I don't know that... in the first movie, it's just, hey, he's a crazy serial killer. But now we get a little bit more. Not too much, but a little bit more. Nika being in a wheelchair adds a little something extra. Because, again, even though you may accept, okay, I'm watching a killer doll movie, it's still difficult sometimes to watch these things and not think, it's a doll. How hard can it be to survive being attacked by a doll? But with Nika being in a wheelchair, as I said, she's at a disadvantage that other people aren't going to have. She's limited. And this is a 3-story house. And there is an elevator, but of course it's a dark and stormy night, and the power is unreliable. So, getting trapped in an elevator with a killer doll could be a problem. Especially, one of the factors in the doll's favor in these movies is that people just don't believe it. So the doll has the surprise factor on its side, and I'm speaking generally now about killer doll movies. So of course you have that. No one expects the doll's going to get up and stab you in the face with a knife. So even though it is just a toy, I think they can get you. They might be able to get you. So that, again, that is in the movie's favor, the fact that Nika doesn't necessarily have the wherewithal that other characters might have. Not that she's a weak character in any way. She's a very strong character. And of course, you've got at least one character that you just can't wait for Chucky to get to that character and kill them. This kind of movie always needs that kind of character, I think. The one that you're kind of rooting for the killer. Come on, just take that dick out. So we've got that character here. And, of course, you got to have a little kid. And in this case, it's a little girl instead of Andy. It's Alice, I believe her name is. And I thought, watching the movie, I thought they forgot about Alice. There's a point where Alice kind of disappears, and the movie keeps going and going and going, and there's no one finds Alice. But fortunately, she does show up at the end. That's not really a spoiler. Just letting you know. Don't think that they forgot, like I did. It was nice to see the doll again. There were a few surprises, some really cool things that tied it together with the rest of the movies. So I liked that. I do like that it went back to horror. It seemed, maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like there was some CGI, Chucky face CGI. And I kind of like the puppeteering better, personally. I understand it's a supernatural, so the CGI, the look of it, the realness at times, I suppose is acceptable because it's supernatural, so why not? But I'm a fan of practical effects for the most part, and I liked the way it worked in the first movie. But that's neither here nor there, I suppose. So anyway, Curse of Chucky, I am going to give it 7.5 out of 10 killer dolls. That's simple enough. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely better than Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3. It's a completely different animal than Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, because those are more comedy than horror, in my opinion. So, yeah, it was a nice throwback. It's got that modern day movie look that I want to say I don't like it in horror film. I like a grittiness to my horror films. And this is a little clean, if you understand what I'm saying. But so, still, 7.5 out of 10 killer dolls for Curse of Chucky. Day 7 of October's Horror Movie Marathon Fest. I have no idea what I'm going to watch tomorrow. But that's it for today. So I'll see you next time.